Okay, so if we look down here, I've posted 448 videos on this channel. On this channel, I've posted 571 videos. Come across to this channel, I posted 185 videos. And I have a bunch more channels. All up, I've posted over 1,200 videos that generated me over 50 million views, nearly 500,000 subs. So now that I've got the douchey social proof sharing out of the way, I want to share 3 brutal truths I really wish I knew when I was a small, struggling YouTuber. And I want to start out by on screen putting a real video I've actually posted. And I want you to take a close look at the title and thumbnail of this video and take a guess at how many views you think it got. Now go comment your guess down below. And you know what? I'm going to make this even easier for you. Let me actually show you the analytics of this video. So right here, you can see the first 28 days this video was live, it got 116 views. Heck, let's back it off even more. Let's make it even easier. These are the analytics for the first 6 months. You can see we got 1,050 views. You can see the view graph down here. Pretty flat aside from a decent spike in the beginning, right?
So after seeing this, how many views do you think this video ended up with?
The funny thing is, if I come in here and select lifetime, we can see the video actually got 788,000 views, generated 5,000 subscribers, 6.5K, and 23,000 watch hours. And I show you this because, well, firstly, egotistically flexing my results on the internet makes me feel cool. But secondly, sometimes you're creating videos for your channel and it feels like you're doing everything right. You're following all the guru advice and your content doesn't seem all that different from your competitors' content, which is getting a ton of views. And yet every one of your videos gets a whopping 7 views, 3 of which came from you refreshing the screen to see how many views you'd gotten. And it can be so frustrating. But the thing I came to realize is sometimes you're not doing anything wrong. Sometimes, like the video I just showed you, the algorithm needs time. Maybe it's weeks, maybe it's months. One of the most successful videos on my channel, if I load it up here, you can see in the first basically month, it was flat, but with some time and a few tweaks, the video blew up here and a month later had over 1 million views. Now, obviously I'm showing you extreme examples to illustrate a point. The majority of videos I posted as a small creator never blew up and they will never blow up because they sucked. But as you can see, sometimes if you are doing everything right, it just takes some time for the algorithm to get some good signals, figure out who to send your videos to, and you'll end up with more views than an Instagram influencer's profile. AKA a lot. But I remember being told this when I first started and thinking, yes, but I've seen these channels that are the same size as me, they were posting the same content as me, and yet they're blowing up their subs in weeks, not months or years. How come they're growing quickly and I'm not? And that's a really good point, previous Marcus, I guess. And it leads me to the next thing I wanted to share. And the best way to explain this is a story. So back in 1896, there's this Italian economist. One day he's strolling through his garden and he notices something strange about his pea plants. He noticed that a very small handful of the pea pods, approximately 20%, were producing a whopping 80% of the peas. And this little observation got him thinking, does this imbalance occur in other places in life? Well, clearly Pareto had a lot of time on his hands because he then proceeded to dive into Italy's economic records and he discovered an interesting pattern. 80% of Italy's land was owned by 20% of Italy's landowners. And it wasn't just land and peas, it was everywhere. 20% of the roads got 80% of the traffic. People wear, on average, 20% of their clothes 80% of the time. And this insight, this law, famously became known as the Pareto principle. And what's fascinating is the Pareto principle shows up on YouTube too, and I want to show you how this can explain why your competitors, who seem to be posting no better videos than you, are getting so much more growth than you. So if I come to the analytics of this channel you're watching right now for the last 28 days, if we scroll down here, what it's going to show you is my top content for this period. And let's just do some quick maths. I'm just going to take these top 1 to 8 videos I can see here and just add up all of their views. So the first one got 85,650 plus 79,000. So I've added up all these views, and in the last 28 days, my top 8 videos brought in 504,000 views. Now, those of you with good memories might recall that my total channel brought in 636,000 views in this 28-day period. In other words, 8 videos on my channel are responsible for 504,000 views, whereas the remaining 104 videos are bringing in a combined total of 130,000 views. And the reason this insight is so interesting is because it can explain how your competitors are growing so much faster than you. Maybe they're growing 10 times faster than you, not because their videos are 10 times better. Maybe they caught a trend and they had a few videos blow up, and those few videos are responsible for bringing in almost all of the views and subscribers to that channel, which is a bit disheartening on one hand, but on the other hand, it means you're literally one viral video away from growing just as fast as they are. Now later, I'll share more about how you can actually create that one viral video, but we need to quickly talk about a mistake a lot of people make when they first learn about this. See, when you understand the Pareto principle, it can be tempting just to be like, okay, well, if 90% of my videos aren't getting me results, I'll just stop making so many videos and put all of my effort into my top 10% of videos to try and make them go viral. And while in theory this makes sense, in practice, it's a trap for 3 reasons. Firstly, if you're creating content intentionally and trying to get better with every new post, which since you're watching this video, I'm assuming you are, it's like going to the gym. Each video you post is one more rep, helping you become a fitter, stronger, more aesthetic creator. Maybe it helps you become more confident on camera. Maybe it leads you to uncovering editing techniques you didn't know about. Maybe it helps you build connections with other people in your space that then lead to you getting more views down the track. And there's so many more. And the second reason is your back catalog of quote unquote unsuccessful videos is where your community is built. Very few people become loyal followers of a channel after one viral video. Maybe your viral video is the gateway drug that gets them binging multiple of your videos, but it's going to transform them from just another viewer to a loyal member of your community. And that leads me to the last reason, because even if your videos aren't getting views now, and even if they're not destined to blow up in the future, like some of the videos I showed you earlier, one viral video will lift your entire channel. So for example, if I come to my analytics and I just go lifetime for the entire channel here, you can see back here, I was doing okay. I was getting thousands of views, but then there's like a big explosion here. Now, because that explosion was due to one viral video, you can see that the views then go down. But even after the views go down, my overall view floor after the viral video is so much higher than my view floor before the viral videos. So what's happening there, aside from the viral video getting a bunch of views, is viewers of my viral video are visiting my channel and starting to watch my backlog of content, and all my older related videos are starting to get more views too. A rising tide lifts all ships. So hopefully that's as insightful for you as it was for me. But there's one final brutal reality I wish I knew when I started, and it comes down to expectations. So if I jump to a whiteboard here, let's imagine this is a growth graph with the vertical axis being subscribers and the linear axis being time, so how long it takes to get said subscribers. So when I first started YouTube and was all green around the edges, I used to think that YouTube growth would look something like this. In the beginning it would be slow, but eventually I'd start getting more views. Those views would turn into subscribers. Those subscribers would turn into more views. And those views and subscribers would trigger the algorithm to start sending me more views. I thought everything would basically compound and I'd basically end up with a hockey stick growth curve like this. What I stupidly didn't account for is the obvious, which is just because someone watches or subscribes to your channel doesn't mean they're going to be there forever. And so when I realized this, I recalibrated my expectations a bit and thought, okay, well maybe growth is more linear. It won't compound, but my growth will sort of just build on itself and go up like this. And unfortunately, while this was slightly close to the truth, it also turned out to be completely wrong. Over the last 10 years, I've had access to the analytics of a lot of channels, and I almost never see growth that looks like this. What actually usually happens is if I actually come into my subscriber growth for this channel here, what we can see down here is the growth graph. So you can see the channel started around February 2019, and from there it grew, but very, very slowly. You can see the line is almost flat. In February 2020, now bear in mind I was putting very little effort into the channel at the time, but still I was posting some videos. I had 800 subscribers. Then I had some videos start to take off, and if we go 1 year later, you can see I had around 30,000 subs. A year after that, 50,000 subs. Then I started taking the channel more seriously around about here. And that's when you can see there's a bit of a delay, but then it starts to pick up here to the point that we're at nearly 400,000 subs. So in my opinion and experience, what growth actually usually looks like for a channel is something like this. It's kind of like very slow linear growth, but almost nothing. And then you have a video hit and it starts to feed all your other content. And then you start to go up linearly or even exponentially for a little bit. And often it'll start flattening out a little bit as competitors start copying you, or maybe you get a bit lazy. But then you'll have another burst of inspiration and you'll start to go up again like this, right? This is the most common growth pattern I see when I'm actually looking at channels analytics. And while this isn't exactly a new strategy that helps you get more views, it's useful to know. If you're just starting out, you need to prepare yourself for this bit, the initial flat, very slightly linear, but very flat growth curve. If you're expecting an exponential growth curve or just a consistent linear growth curve, you're going to be pretty disappointed and you'll probably end up quitting after 3 or 6, maybe even 12 months. And if you look at my analytics, for example, imagine if I had quit after 12 months. I had 800 subscribers, which again, I wasn't really going all in, but I would have been giving up right about there, right before the channel started to pick up, and that next year I got 30,000 subs. So what do you do from here? Well, there are probably 2 paths forward for you. See, some of you guys watching this, you're in this phase, like right about here. You've posted some videos, they're not too bad, but deep down, if you're really honest with yourself, you know you have a long way to go. You know you have a lot to improve to get to the point that you deserve to have a video blow up. So if that's you, on screen to the left, I'm going to link you a completely free 12-hour course that I've created where I'll walk you through absolutely everything you need to know to start creating good content. But some of you guys watching this, you have great videos, just nothing's really clicked yet. Usually the thing that's letting you down is not having a data-proven viral video idea and packaging. So you guys need to click the video on the right, and I'll personally walk you through how I find viral video ideas and packaging.